Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for choosing me to be here and present my work to you. My name is Lilach Porges, and I'm going to show you my dress code collection. So before I graduated from the MFA program at FIT in New York, I studied architecture for undergrad and masters. For this collection, I took inspiration from software engineering and elements I found inside the computer. I took inspiration from the shapes of the code and the colors of it. I developed and worked with different methods to 3D print garments with robotic arms, and I compared it to other 3D printed methods and draping. This is the lineup of my final thesis collection, dress code. And let's start with the accurate method. So the robotic arm can follow every line in the space according to a code, even very complicated one that is based on mathematical functions. It will make mistakes, but the beauty of these mistakes is that they are because of the process and because of gravitations and other parameters we have in real life, that's showing that it's not a perfect process yet, and it's showing the way to make the things. I needed to 3D scan different body types in order to 3D print exactly for the curvature of the body. And I designed my prints using code and parametric designs technique, using fractals as my mathematical function to create this print. I 3D printed the fractals with the robotic arm on the curvature of the body, and I also printed the same prints on a fabric, and I layered them together for this look. I designed more prints that are with code, and I draped them over other fabrics to create this look. And then my large-scale method. So the 3D printed material can be completely recycled by chopping it and melting it back to its original shape. So every dress can be returned to the factory and be created as a new one. It was very important for me to choose 3D printing materials that are sustainable, and I worked with a few companies to do that. I pushed the limits of this technology. I tried to 3D print as big as possible as this technology is giving me the opportunity to do, and printing in the space and not just like a 3D printer, which can only print on a flat surface. So I printed these very large elements and pieces from material that is 90% recycled, from bottle caps and carbon fibers. I played with my looks, and then the first piece that I printed completely broke to pieces when I took it off the base. And I was very sad after 3 days of printing, but later I realized that I can use these pieces to create another look. Those are the 3 looks that I made from the sustainable material. And then I took the large skirt and I put it in front of the robot and printed with the accurate methods on top of it. And I played with the pieces, and that was the look. And the random method is basically a very, very simple code of 10 points in the space that the robotic arm know how to connect them and repeat it again and again when it's draping the 3D printed material on the rotating mannequin. And with the repetition, it's creating the dress. So after 8 hours, this dress was created. I continued with this method for an exhibition in New Bedford for research and robotics. It was a 5 days exhibition when people could come and see the process of 3D printing a dress with a robotic arm. And that was the dress after this week. And I also used the 3D printing by hand with a 3D pen, which I started printing, and I had no idea what's going to happen with that dress, if it's going to be possible to take it off the dress form. And I was very surprised to find out that it was possible to wear it, walk with it, dance with it. And I continued with this method because I very much enjoyed doing it by hand to create that look. And again, with this method of 3D printing by hand, I created the pieces to create that look. And using draping fabric in the shapes and colors of the code, I I printed the fractals with a regular 3D printer because I wanted to encourage women to be part and lead the fields of science and software.
It's time.
That was that look.
Lilach.
Okay, I'm just finishing. This is my editorial that I wanted to show in a feminine and magical environment. And, that was the final editorial collection. Thank you.
Thank you so much.